So glad y'all enjoyed that. Okay. Segment 2, IDD, they're downloadable in the high court. By the way, it is balmy, I must say.
It is. I have shorts on.
It was cold when we left here. We went up there. It was like 17 degrees one day. Come back here, and it's this 60, whatever it was today. The rain did show up in the afternoon, which pissed me off. But because when it rains, it pours, right? So it did, literally, all of a sudden. So
Was it thundering?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right as you were winning, yeah. Anyway.
Well, that was me in the bathroom.
Yeah, is that what that was?
That was me in the bathroom.
No, thank God there was no odor. Segment 2, NBA. The Knicks did beat the Wizards in overtime, so they avoided catastrophe. Was that game in Washington?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was on the road.
It was second half of a back-to-back.
Yeah.
But the Wizards had like 4 of their starters out, dude. And the Knicks gave up 60 points in the first half.
What was the final score of that game? It was close.
It was like 140-something to 130-something.
Wow.
So
nobody played defense.
Brunson scored 42 in the second half.
Wow.
He had 55. He was 16 for 17 from the free throw line.
Hear that, Celtics? 16 for 7. One man. Dude, one man.
He basically, they were just discombobulated all night.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, towards the end of the game, he said, all right, I guess I'm going to be the one.
I'm going to be the one.
And he carried him. And it was, man.
Thank God he did.
Dude, when you see a small guy carry a team like that, it's pretty impressive.
Isaiah Thomas.
And he's scoring in the lane.
I know.
Special shit.
I know America hates him, and he kind of brought himself. If you block out the noise and you just put in videotapes of Isaiah Thomas for the Detroit Pistons, you've rarely seen anything
like that
at any level that good in any sport. He scored in the finals against the Lakers on one leg in one quarter, 25 points. And Michael Cooper was guarding him. Okay? And he's 6'1", if he's 6'1".
Yeah, Brunson didn't.
So
Brunson had a Wizards
Brunson
defender.
reminds me, no, but still, Brunson in a lot of ways reminds me of him.
Yeah.
He's not as smooth as him, because Isaiah was just smooth. I would argue Isaiah Thomas has the best handle in the history of this game without carrying the ball. Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, watch him. But anyway,
dude, but Brunson
tonight, though.
Well, this was yesterday.
Yesterday.
55, 9 assists.
9 assists, like the 9 assists.
Towns had, 20 or 30 and 14 rebounds or
Towns
something
has been
like
good for them.
He really has.
He's been good for them.
He falls in love with the three a little bit, but for the most part this year, he hasn't been doing that.
No, but he's
shooting smart threes.
Unlike Randall, he's used to playing off of a guy like this.
Yeah.
So he blended right in very well and gave the Knicks something they didn't really have. So they're better for it, obviously.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he tries to fit in so much more than Julius Randle ever did.
Yes.
Julius Randle really never tried to fit in.
Fully agree with that based on what I have seen.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
So far.
And I'm not saying Randle wasn't a good player and
No.
didn't play well, but he didn't understand what this kid understands.
Right.
And
he just wasn't as good as Towns.
No.
Wasn't as skilled as him.
Towns is a better player
Yeah,
than him.
he is.
That's clear.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, Randall's an all-star. He's been an all-star twice. That's no fluke. But
And he's fucking tough, too.
But Towns is a better basketball player. He is. So he's got better skill set. He's bigger. He knows how to use that, and he's willing. So those are 3 things right there. So the Knicks did avoid disaster. I can't say the same for the defending champs who are playing like chumps. And this started on Christmas Day with that abysmal performance against the Sixer team. I understand Holiday didn't play, and I understand Porzingis got knocked out at halftime. It doesn't.
What happened to him?
He's okay. He got a high. It was something to do with his ankle, but it's not a super sprain. He'll be back.
Okay.
It's minor. They're just being cautious.
I don't like hearing that shit.
Which they have to be with him because you need him in the playoffs. So, but the point is, even with they have enough depth, they have enough everything. If they stop shooting half a century's worth of threes every game, today they shot another 52, and wonder why they lost. What was great about them last
year?
year? Not nearly enough.
They make 20?
No.
Oh.
And they only shot 14 free throws.
Jeez.
Against the Pacers.
There he goes.
Who, even with, he could run from here to China, it wouldn't be enough to catch you. The bottom line is,
I didn't mean like
he being the Drew Holiday, rather, the Celtics, rather, they last year what made them great was when the threes weren't falling, they would change their game because they could. They'd lock you down in defense. They'd start going to the basket. This was what's happened 8 or 9 times now this year, happened like 3 or 4 times all of last season. And that's the problem. And it's not about injuries. It's not about anything else. They're coasting. And here's the problem with them coasting. I understand the defending world champs better than anybody. I understand what they did to Dallas, but that was the perfect storm. That was the perfect matchup, okay, for them. Okay, I'm not saying they wouldn't have beat the other teams in the West, but it wouldn't have been that easy. Okay, tell you that right now.
Who's a team that you'd be a little more nervous
Denver.
about?
Last year would have been Denver. Absolutely. And Minnesota. Because they had the length.
How about this year? OKC?
It's Cavaliers are the best team in this game right now. It's not even close. It's not even close. He doesn't want to hear that, but it doesn't. It's
I believe you. I mean, if you say it, I know you're right.
It's just there, and the Knicks to me are the second best team in the East right now. The Celtics are third. I'd put them behind the Knicks right now.
See, I haven't watched
because they're just too fucking stupid. That's right, Sean Darcy. Here it comes again. The stupidest fucking basketball team on earth. They have lost 6 games at home this year.
Have they lost?
They've
five
lost
in the last 6?
6 games at home.
Jeez. Would they lose 2 last year?
They lost 2 or 3 all last season. At home, they've lost 6 at home. Most of these teams have a record below 500 that they're losing to.
Didn't they lose their first game at home like before the All-Star break, like right before the All-Star break or something?
Last year it was to Denver,
right?
By 2.
Yeah,
by 2. So and Denver was the defending world champ.
They've already lost 6.
They've already lost 6, and they've lost them the same fucking way. That would always make me go crazy, and him just roll his eyes in disgust. Be going, why? Because he keeps asking the same question. Why do they keep doing this?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know why they keep doing it. The only answer I come up with is they're fucking stupid. Because when you keep losing the same way, and all it takes is one videotape to watch and realize we shouldn't do that if we've missed 11 threes in a row. We should go to the basket. But yet, here we are again to another under 500 team at home. And you have the 2 best perimeter players, I think, on earth on your roster, and Derek White, who's an all-star. Never mind the bench. Peyton Pritchard had 20. But this is not about personnel. I don't care who was in it. They were at home. They shouldn't have lost that game. They shouldn't have lost to Philly on Christmas Day. Okay? This is a joke. And Tatum, after the game to Philly, said, we got to get back to playing defense. He didn't deny it. Well, they haven't played it. I don't count the win the other night. The Pacers were missing 2 starters the other night who both played tonight. They won. Simple as that. Okay? Those 2 guys, both Naismith, who the Celtics drafted, and the other kid, both played tonight. You lost. Okay, you lost for the same.
The other kid?
I forget. He's another wing, who's pretty good. But they're not Tatum and Brown, unless of course one guy goes 2 for 10 from the 3, which was Jason Tatum.
Oh man.
I mean, this is embarrassing. And look, here's the problem. And I'm going to say this, and I'm the first one. I'm going to be the first Celtics analyst, anyone to say this. You don't have to beat the Celtics 4 times in a series. All you have to do is beat them twice. Because they're going to give you 2.
They'll beat themselves.
They're going to give you 2. That's the fucking truth. I'm not making this up. I've seen 9 examples of this already this season. Okay? And Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis aren't going to change that. Okay? That is a mentality. That is a stubbornness. That is an arrogance that you aren't. I don't care if you got a ring. You know something? Everybody that's a critic of you will say, well, you didn't face a healthy team all year long until the finals, and that wasn't the best team in the West. Dallas didn't have to face Denver. They might not even have got there.
Do you believe that?
Yes, I do. I believe Denver faces Dallas in a series last year. Denver beats them.
Wow.
I do believe that.
So you think the only reason they won last year is because
they didn't have to face Denver?
Path.
Yeah. Well, based on what I'm seeing, what else am I to believe?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
it's kind of hard to argue with 9 losses, 6 at home, and it's not even the new year yet. It's kind of hard to argue with that.
How much of that is we just won the championship? And is that excusable?
It's not. That's even worse.
That's worse.
Because that sets a bad precedent. They think they can turn around. Oh, look at. If you turn, I will happily be wrong. If you're this fucking good that you can just go bang, okay? I've only seen a few teams in my lifetime that could do that.
So you're saying they playoffs come and they just roll everybody?
Okay, fine. Then
we'll do it again next year.
Then you can do it again next year. I won't say a word next year. Okay.
Keep shooting those threes.
But the problem is, this is a defending champion that has been scrutinized, that has been disrespected. All of going back to the Olympics, to Jaylen Brown's all this shit. There is no excuse for this.
Yeah, that's true.
None whatsoever. And Joe Mazzulla and his fucking analytics can go fucking take a long walk off a short pair. I'm sick of this shit with your analytics. The 3-point shot is still the lowest percentage shot in the game. The layup is the highest. Okay? And when you have 2 guys that whenever they want can get a layup, okay? And you're shooting 10 threes each out of the 2 of them, that's 20 threes right there. That's to me, and you make 2 or 3 of them, that is 17 or whatever it is, 15 wasted possessions where you could have gone to the basket and got fouled. But Jaylen Brown's a bad foul shooter still. He's still shooting below 75%. That's embarrassing. How the fuck is that possible? Okay, that's just lack of. That's the problem, and that's why I say you've only got to beat them twice. Yeah. And if all you have to do is beat the Celtics twice, I can think of a slew of teams that can do that. His is one of them. Okay, so to me, this is.
Yeah, if you give us two.
Right now, if they play Cleveland right now, and the Celtics are healthy, Cleveland wins. Yeah. Because of one reason: their mentality. Their mentality sucks right now. And when Porzingis and Holiday have been in the lineup, they've still done this. Yeah. So to say they're both going to be there and change it, no, it's not. Just more threes are going to get shot up. More, even better, more. Let's build a whole new fucking TD Garden with all the bricks we've been shooting up. Okay? So I don't want to fucking hear it. Joe Mazzulla, you are a goddamn joke until further notice. Okay? Only you could take a fucking team with this kind of talent and fuck it up. Okay? Why on earth you are not sitting there after the second time this happened? I can understand one. But after the second time it happened in 10 days, why weren't you telling them, look we're not taking more threes than twos this game? Where's the coaching? Are you afraid to coach them? Because that's what it looks like.
You may be.
That's what it looks like. You're too busy being their best friend and not their coach.
Oh, damn, I can't clear my throat.
I will say this for Tibbs. Tibbs wouldn't let this fucking go on. No. I know Popovich wouldn't let this go on. Okay, there are coaches that the guy in Denver, Murray, wouldn't let this go on. Steve Kerr wouldn't let this go on. Okay, so no, I'm not buying it.
Dude, the Knicks beat the Magic the other night and went 4 for 15 from the three.
And they only took 15. you don't have to live by the three.
Yeah.
And as I said to Ian, and Tom, I think has heard me say this. I think if that's
not the norm for the,
no, but if this is the only way they could win, I'd live with it.
Yeah.
When you're as multi-talented and dimensional and deep as the Celtics, you can win in so many different ways. Yeah. Why do you keep relying on the one thing that has cost you 9 games? There's a question. When you can win in a multitude of ways, the Knicks can do it too. They won on 15 threes. They only hit 4. They won the game.
What is keeping you from just taking the easy path?
I don't understand the path of least resistance here. When you have so much to prove. I mean, Golden State came in here and beat you after Steve Kerr benched Jason Tatum. And Tatum with his 33 points, because he still was the best player on the floor, but they lost.
But here's my thing.
Tatum just took it like, it's one of them. What the fuck? And again, he's never going to get pissed. It's not who he is. Yeah. That isn't the point. When does fucking pride set in? You can have pride without getting pissed. Okay? I don't understand this. I understand this. Okay? To me, that was the first red flag. That was the first red flag when they lost at home to Golden State after what just happened. Because last year, Golden State walked in there and they beat them by 52. It was over at the halftime. They made Golden State quit. Curry and fucking what's his nuts there, Splash 2 didn't even come out of the locker room for the second half. They made him quit. Okay? Where was that fucking mentality? Where has it been? So, fuck you, Celtics. Fuck you. You're a fucking fraud. I got news for you right now. You're an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment to the organization. I don't want to hear about how it's a long season. That's a load of shit. You're 10 deep. Okay? It's not a long season when you're 10 deep. Okay, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Take your fucking garbage and get out. I'm sick of you guys. And right now, I don't think you're repeating. So prove me wrong. Because you better hope the Knicks get hurt. Or the Cavaliers get hurt. Or the Orlando Magic don't get healthy. Because any one of those 3 teams could take you out. And do it easily.
I'm so glad we're done with the Magic. That team is fucking...
Where do you see them at the end of the year?
They foul like fuck.
They do. They're dirty.
They hustle. I mean, they're just such a pain in the ass.
They're a pain in the ass team.
Even without Banchero.
Yeah, where do they get him back? I'm saying
we're lucky that we're done with them now.
I can ask you, the Celtics are going to play themselves into a first-round series with that team.
Even though you'll win, they'll beat you the fuck up.
They'll beat the shit out of you. You'll have
It'll be like when playing the Heat.
You'll beat them in 7.
Right. It's
you'll lose in the next round. And I'm going to listen to Joe Mazzulla. Well, look, we had good shots, and we kept taking good shots, and they were good shots. And if they were there again, I'd tell them to take them again because the analytics tell me that if you keep taking that good shot, it's a good shot. That's what you can't beat the analytics.
Dude, and if you have to play Orlando round 1, who do you think you're getting 2? You're getting the Knicks, or you're getting
without home court,
right? Or you could be getting I don't know who else. Somebody who's a pain in the ass. Indiana could be a pain in the ass.
Indiana's beaten you twice already this year. Indiana has beaten them 2 out of 3 times.
They won the season series.
You swept them last year. They've taken 2 out of 3 from you this year. See, that's how you respond to a team that sweeps you. You come out, and you smack them around on their floor.
Here's the thing that's weird about that. I feel like you win a championship mentally, you should be better than a team like Indiana. I mean,
you should show. See, this is what these guys don't get. This is what this generation doesn't get. You don't win once, then everyone bends over and kisses your ass. It doesn't work that way.
Everyone bends over and says, "Come on in,
come on in,
hop to it."
No lube tonight needed. Fucking unbelievable. That's where they are. And honestly, with 9, I don't even know how you even get in front of a microphone and talk at this point. Because if I'm a reporter, I'm just looking at them like, you frauds. You total frauds. Indiana sucks. Okay? The Chicago Bulls suck. You lost to the Bulls at home. 2 nights later in Chicago, you beat them by 30.
Yeah, no.
Shit, you're a bunch of fucking frauds. You're a bunch of front-running frauds. Okay? Maybe someone needs to smack your pee-pee a little more. Because honestly, your head coach ain't doing it.
Smack your pee-pee.
Your head coach ain't doing it. Okay? Joe Mazzulla, you're a fraud.
Little cup check.
Where's the coaching? Where's the coaching? Where's the guy in the locker room breaking a blackboard after his team has missed their 5,000 3 in a week? And they're on pace for that right now. Okay? To miss 5,000 threes in a season. Oh, boy!
Really?
Oh, boy! That's a stat I want.
What's the highest ever?
I don't know. It's not 5,000. It's a lot. It's close.
How many threes they miss in a game? 20?
Today they missed. They were 50. They were 16 for 53 or 54.
Oh dear. So they're probably averaging 27 missed threes a game.
You multiply that by 82.
What is that?
It's an interesting number, isn't it?
Let's look at this.
Let's look at this for you.
This is
hey, RJ, you're not having a bad enough week, RJ. Why don't we just throw this on there?
27 times 82. 2,214.
That's what they're on pace to do.
Yikes.
Yowzes.
Yowzes is right.
You're comparing these guys to Larry Bird? Larry Bird blindfolded couldn't miss that many shots. Okay, give me a fucking break. This is a joke. Okay, Joe Mazzulla, you're on the clock, pal, because it starts with the coaching, and I don't want to hear about whatever message you're delivering ain't getting through because they keep doing this shit and they keep losing to inferior teams because of it. You're going to play yourself into not having home court in the second round against anybody. That's what you're going to play yourself into.
Dude, I think I turned it on with 5 or 6 minutes left. They're down, I think, 15. They get like 3 or 4 stops in a row and miss a 3 on every possession.
Every fucking possession.
And like some of the shots were wide open, like they were open threes. Like, but
if you've already missed 30 of them, go to the fucking bed. Hey, by the way, if they're that wide open on the 3, the lane is probably that wide open too.
Right, yeah, because the defense is just fucking clueless.
They're not even rotating right. Okay, it's like, it's stupid basketball. Yeah. Why Sean Darcy do I call them the dumbest basketball team I've ever seen? Because they play stupid basketball. They're way too talented to play. It's like the fucking the scarecrow. If I only had a brain. That's what they're like. Okay, they play the dumbest.
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense
because they're actually smart.
When they actually use their brain, they look amazing. They look unbeatable, dare I say?
And that's what I'm saying. Like
how many brain
Joe
farts?
Mazzulla is locked in. He seems like a great coach.
How many brain farts can you have in 2 months?
Well, it's a steady fart. It's an absolute rummaging of the it's a rummaging of the rectum.
It's a long distance.
Is it a loaf?
It's a long distance.
Wow. I guess you're right. If they don't win the title this year, it's
they have no excuse.
Loaf. It's an absolute
none.
Loaf job.
That's a joke. They're the most talented team in this league by far.
Oh, Penix.
And they've now pissed away 9 games to inferior teams. That's embarrassing. Look at the losses. You're like, what?
Well, but here's the thing: every team is not as good as them.
I'm not saying that they can't. I don't know if they can turn it on or not, but history tells me they can't. They've never done it before. Why would I believe? This is why they lost the title 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Then they win the title not doing this, and they go back to it. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
Well, they lost 2 titles doing it.
2
in a row.
2 in a row doing it. Why? I don't understand.
Then figured it out.
And now they look like the team that lost 2 years ago.
It's weird.
I said Drew Holiday is getting dumber with that. Putting that uniform. He was never this stupid. Okay, this is ridiculous. Yeah. But again, this is what happens. This is what the locker room does. Everybody starts this.
But if they're telling them,
keep shooting. It's a great look.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm 0 for 14. Keep shooting. What kind of a fucking idiot? What? This is literally happening.
The guy's like,
this is
my hand's broken.
This is literally happened.
But my foot's broken.
Coach, I'm 0 for 12. The next one's gonna fall. What the fuck? What? If he's 0 for 12, why is he still on the floor in the first place?
Probabilities tell us he'll make the next.
That's that right there.
Right.
Probability tells the next one's going in.
Next 12 are going in, actually. He's a 50% shooter.
Probability.
Oh, he yanked it. Did it go in? Nice.
Yeah, it went in.
Dude, Atlanta's impressing me here.
Unfucking.
Would you have picked them?
No.
I would have picked the Commanders.
No, the Commanders were playing well. They had the big win against Philly, who responded.
I mean, he can still go nuts in the second
no, it's
half.
not over with him, but I mean, Atlanta's a good team. So's Tampa Bay. They're both good teams.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I hope they both get in, but I don't know
Tampa's
if
better than them.
they are. But it's close. It's close. But like I'd like to see them both. I think they both could be really good in the playoffs.
Interesting with Penix though. He looks a little scared.
Second start.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but it's tough that they're going to go on this run now, and he's just thrown into it.
Starting on the road against a good football team
Yeah.
that just beat Philly. Who, if you saw what Philly did to Dallas today,
And his team has 17 points in the first half against that team.
yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
it is impressive on the road. So the Redskins are playing.
And
I mean, the Commanders
he threw a bad pick in the first series and bounced back.
Yeah. No. The kid, I love Penix. I love him. I wish the Patriots had gotten him. Nothing against May. May was all about what was around him. I didn't think they should have drafted a quarterback first because they're not set up to win. Yeah. They're not set up to even help the kid.
You think it probably would have been easier to leave Penix on the bench all year too?
Yes.
Right, because May
shouldn't have played this year. Yeah. What do you look? If you saw him,
he came with the status.
But if you saw him play in college, which I did, I think you saw a couple games. You knew he could play. It wasn't about that.
I don't know shit about college.
I saw him play 7 games last year. He looked like one of the top 3. He looked like a top 3 pick. Yeah. He did. Okay. And so the thing is, but it's all about where you go. Dan Orlovsky said it best. He's not wrong. Look at the more quarterbacks get destroyed in this league than built. And it's so important. You got to have an offensive line.
Yeah.
You got to have a number one. You got to have at least those 2 things in place.
Quarterback's got to have a few seconds.
I mean, yeah, you got to get. You can't. It's. And look, I love May's competitiveness. I love that he goes back out there and he fights. That's not his problem. I'm afraid he's going to get his brains beat in, like what happened to Mac Jones. I want to watch this whole thing again. I don't want to watch this again. Okay, I'm already still sick of the first one. I don't want to watch this again. Okay, and right now, if they don't, I'll tell you right now, this Elliott kid, this Elliott guy.
How many concussions is that for May this year?
One that I know of.
Did he have one before this or no?
I don't know, but he has one already.
I thought he got knocked out. Remember one game he went out and came back in?
He may have more than one. I'm saying I know of one. He might have more.
My thing is, I really hope they're not, because if he got his bell wrong,
he should not.
And
play.
you took him back in there, and you said, "Oh, he's good."
He cleared concussion protocol. They put him back in. That's what they said.
If you had to check his concussionness.
He threw a touchdoon to Pop Douglas. It was a Hail Mary that got answered. Yeah.
But it was on a free play, though. It was smart.
Yeah, it was fine. Look, for now, he still has his wits about it. He takes a few more hits. He's going to be mush mouth. I mean, mush brain.
2 concussions in a season isn't good. I don't know if he's got to.
He should not play against Buffalo next week.
Let Brissett play.
There's nothing to prove here. There's nothing. Right now, you have the number 1 pick. If you don't sit him now.
Actually, you know what? We're gonna cut Drew Lock. We'll let him come play for you guys. It'll be like fucking Rudy.
Ugh.
Drew Lock was Rudy today for the Giants.
So we're gonna break.
Trying to build a culture.
We're gonna come back segment 3. We're gonna talk
3 and 13.
We're gonna talk politics. You're gonna. Well, I think you're gonna like this because it needs to get said. And quite honestly, given what I ran into last week, the real reason my Christmas was so bad. It's gonna get addressed because honestly I can't sit on this and we'll talk about what Becky did off air. Becky, thank God for Becky. Segment 3 coming right up.